Nearly everybody has played some variation of the timeless game known as Truth or Dare. In fact, the game may well have ancient origins, as some believe that variants were played in ancient Greece in the form of a game called Basalinda, and may have seen a later resurgence as Questions and Commands, a game played as early as 1712. But where Basalinda was a game played by a ruler and Questions and Commands were reserved mainly for Christmas time, it is likely that rough and tumble folks eager to prove their bravado have been issuing and accepting dares for as long as human beings have walked the earth. Brisbane is the third most populous city in Australia and the capital of the state of Queensland. The sprawling city is home to an estimated 2.5 million people. Among them is David Dewell. David was a committed family man who loved his 3 daughters and enjoyed spending time with friends. He and his partner Alira had been together since 2004, and together they took great pride in raising their 3 daughters, Alyssa, Claudia, and Sage. David was also close to his own extended family, which includes 4 siblings and several nieces and nephews. However, he had no idea that everything was going to change late in 2018. On Saturday, December 1st, 2018, David attended a Christmas party with some close friends. When he came home that night, he had obviously had a fair bit to drink, but given the celebratory mood of the season, that hardly seemed abnormal. When David woke up the next day, he was very ill, but him and his partner assumed that it was simply a bad hangover. By Monday, he still hadn't recovered, and in fact, it seemed things were getting worse. What had started as stomach cramps and nausea had escalated to vomiting with diarrhea. Even more terrifying was what was coming out of his body. When he would vomit, it came out pure green, and when he urinated, it was black. That was when his sister and partner decided it was time to phone an ambulance. Unfortunately, when paramedics arrived, they didn't take his condition seriously and assumed that his drinking was the cause. And when his family protested, they offered another diagnosis, saying that he'd likely had a nasty bout of gastroenteritis. Gastroenteritis, more commonly known as the stomach flu, actually bears no relation to the influenza virus, and is in fact a common infection of the gastrointestinal tract, characterized by watery diarrhea, abdominal cramps, nausea or vomiting, and sometimes fever. While some of the symptoms did match up, Alira couldn't accept this answer, and insisted that paramedics take him to the hospital. They transported David to Mater Hospital, where doctors began a series of tests to either prove or disprove the first responders' theory, but the results would be anything but what they expected. In just a moment, we'll tell you what doctors discovered after testing David, but first make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon right now. After you click the bell, comment Notification Squad below, and I'll reply to all of you saying thanks. David Dowell had been out for a night of festive partying on Saturday, December 1st, 2018, but by Monday the following week he was violently ill with a mysterious affliction that had turned his vomit green and his urine black. First responders posited that he was simply suffering from a case of the stomach flu. However, his partner and mother of his 3 daughters, Alira Bricknell, insisted that there was more wrong with her beloved than a simple stomach flu. Luckily, EMTs transported David to nearby Mater Hospital, where doctors ran a series of tests on him. Bright and early Tuesday morning, they had the results, and they were not good. By Tuesday, David's stomach had become so bloated that family members described him as looking, quote, 6 months pregnant, and doctors had found the cause. According to the test results, David was suffering from an advanced case of salmonella poisoning. Salmonella affects thousands of people every year. However, with early detection, it can typically be cured. In David's case, however, it had been days since he contracted the illness. And furthermore, his particular case seemed to be abnormally aggressive, really. Initially, the source of the illness was thought to be some chicken that he had eaten, but pretty soon some fellow partygoers came forward with a shocking bit of information. At the party days before, someone had dared David to eat a gecko. As soon as doctors heard this, the severity of the salmonella began to make sense. Unfortunately, one problem still remained. No one from the party could definitely attest to whether or not he had actually completed the dare. Unfortunately, David was deteriorating rapidly, and 10 days after the party on December 11th, he succumbed to the damage that the salmonella had caused. It was a very tragic event, and according to statements from his family, David died in absolute agony and, quote, rotted from the inside out. Talking about her late partner, Alira has said that he was one of a kind, just a great person, and the kids have lost one of the best dads ever. That's it for our video today, everybody. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click on one of the other 2 videos being shown currently, and we'll see you next time.